Welcome back. We are us, and this game is almost over. I'm not really a fan of how I went about that, but what can you do? I'll tell you what, absolutely nothing. Just like war and what it's good for. So, last episode, I killed a couple of things. And then we got the last one piece we needed for Wukong's. No, we definitely got two pieces last episode. So we finished Wukong's whatchamacallit, and get juked, son. I'm coming to collect that rent. Ouch. Maybe I'm the one who owes. I got hit and still did it. My button has officially become depressed. God dang it. I have no idea why he just started slow walking like that. Oh, there's pits in the water. One day I'll get some damage off. One day. I got hit and perfect dodged. I don't... Should I feel proud or depression? My God, this thing is... Okay. Maybe it's pissed about all the hippopotamuses that I killed last episode. Anyway, so after last episode ended, I went looking for information on whether or not the hippopotamuses that I was killing would summon, well, this thing, basically. Turns out, nope, it's just out here chilling. Bing style, really. What? I don't understand. I'm perfect dodging and taking damage. Oh. Yeah, we're not doing that. Da-da. Da-da. Uh-oh. I missed. Dang it. What if you didn't, though? Oh, seriously? Wow. That was a lot faster than I expected. So, maybe you're wondering, hey, what is that weird looking thing in his hand that's super spear-like for a guy that uses a staff? Well, children, don't think about that, okay? I did some wandering last episode after we parted ways. And I went back to the Pagoda realm to see a guy a bunch of seals on a bunch of doors that I've been wanting gone all playthrough long. And I finally managed to make it happen. Yeah, okay. God dang it. Excuse me? Game, please. What in the world? Okay. Okay, I see how it is. By the way, the AI logic in Horizon Walker is so absolutely garbage. I can honestly say, I have never seen worse AI. Who designs an AI for an auto system or an auto battle system that makes mages run point blank at one enemy to attack another one beyond them? That's just for starters on how stupid this AI is. It's disgusting. I hate it. What were we talking about? Right, I needed to swap my weapon. Weapon. I'm debating whether I should get rid of this set and replace it with the unique effects set that I'm rather fond of. What the freaking... I know it's coming and I still get surprised by it. BS. Absolute garbage. You know, I didn't realize how much I missed that PE ball sound effect. Meanwhile, we take medicine on it. I hate this thing's hitbox. Dang it, I really couldn't recover in time to hit him. Does he not realize I saw him? I wonder... No, I could not in fact dodge in time, because I missed the dodge entirely. Well. Wait, is that really all we got from it? The Mind Core? I was not paying attention. I was posing for effects. Oh, that reminds me. I'm glad I actually managed to remember. No, it doesn't give me mana. Like, if it just gave mana, I would not mind being impaired for that brief time. But it doesn't give me what I want, so it stays in the bucket. Anyway, remember the giant rock pile that I was certain was something last episode? Well, I'm right. And unfortunately, I can't do anything about it. Apparently, I'm missing literally just one skanda. One skanda to wake the guy up. I don't remember what it gives, but I don't think it's worth my time. So, I didn't bother to go hunt down the skanda. You're welcome. Oh, right. We have another appointment elsewhere. I think if everything has worked out the way I wanted, I think it was on a place with snow. That's definitely not it. New West? That doesn't look like snow. That's Towers of Karma? No, I have a... Yeah, this one. No. Where is it? There it is. And you know, I mentioned the AI in Horizon Walker because I've currently got it autoing the rift exploration because I can't be bothered to do that by hand at the moment. I mean, I could try. It wouldn't go well. So we have all of them. Nope, we're missing one. Remember, these murals appear on surfaces that grant access to secret realms. And we are missing one. I don't think for a second that there's one at Mount Wagwo. So... Where are you at? Unfortunately, being this close to the end of the game, I'm more... Oh, I was wrong.
In his steps you've trod, from his eyes you've seen. The circle has led you back. Have you gleaned any truths? Long has an old friend waited for you. Destiny ripens. This last mural holds the key. Go forth. No one sees this myth more clearly than him.
They call him the developer. Well, I didn't expect that to actually work out. I didn't see him back there. I guess he hadn't loaded in because I was still too far out. I was just going to leave. But no, I had to go up to the wall and start talking all about whatever the frick I had said. I basically am on autopilot when it comes to talking. I also... combos... Oh, yeah. I'm No, maybe it's one of his... Yeah, increases attack when health is... Significantly increases attack when health is low. Did I miss a turn back there? Feels like it. I'm only half paying attention. I'm thinking about combinations of bombs that I might be able to use to increase my attack. I have to be honest. I have to ask. Was that really necessary? Why does that exist? It doesn't accomplish anything other than making this take that much longer. Thank goodness I figured out the bunny hop so I can get up hills and stairs faster. It's utterly maddening running up those things at the normal speed. Oh, this place looks like it's pretty linear, so I highly doubt there's anything for me to be... Uh-oh, that's not good.
Shame I must greet you in this bitter cold without a hearty drink. It's no easy feat getting here. I know you didn't come to keep me company. In your heart, there must be something you can't get over. Or someone you can't let go of. Same goes for me. I can't kill that monkey. No one can. Except himself. But at last, I see. This is the only way. He had no choice. And neither did I. The world is cool. Destiny unfold. Yin and yang.
Mighty proud of yourself, aren't you?
Trust me. I know what you want.
I might have to take this set off because it just deals way too much damage. I can't. Dang it. Used it early. He deals way too much damage per hit, and taking bonus damage on top of that is insane. So we'll see.
Mistakes teach us best. When you fall, for it again. How sluggish that destiny would prove. Too good. Some of the spark. That's it. I won't hold back from now. Let's fight! When it's too late. My sword spans the nine skies. It's time to rest your weary self. My skin, and lightning, my heart! Not hard, man. The mountains bury the sun. Your best tricks, use them. Don't hold back. Let's have it. I was just wondering, is our fight here and now all part of his plan? Survive, true, or fall soon if you're not. No more spells. Step forward, or you shall never outdo him.
So, apparently I have bugged the game. As you will have seen, he transformed into the eagle, or whatever the bird is, really. And I responded by transforming into some old guy. But in the instant that I did, he attacked and was apparently going for a, I don't want to call it a grapple, but I also have no idea what to actually call it. But he was basically going to grab me and then just, toss my HP out the window. I wasn't going to go for that, so I transformed. But apparently, that didn't matter any, because he still got... No, he was even taken out of the bird form, and then literally given his spear through my chest into all of that HP loss to where we are now. And, well, here we find ourselves still being circled by the... girly man with a blouse tied around his... He's got a weird fashion sense, I will say that. But I am unable to press, I'm pressing every button here. I've got nothing. Also, my attack button having depression is irksome. Oh yeah, this is super bad. Well, whatever. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
You can't evade this! I was just wondering, is our fight here and now, all part of his plan? Some of his spark. That's it. I won't hold back from now. Let's fight! Destiny is made, not dictated. Even stars shift. My wrath! I'll shake the stars in the sky. My blade bolts the air and rouses the thunder. I strike without mercy. Gale Swift and Shadow Step. My sword spans the nine sky, swifter than shooting stars. You've lifted my spirits, monkey. When he was dragged to the execution yard, sword and spear were dulled, cleaver and cudgel crumbled, and yet you're not him. Bright truth and shade, fair fuse and foul, small counters. You've lifted my spirits, monkey. When he was dragged to the execution yard, sword and spear were dulled, cleaver and cudgel crumbled, and yet unscathed. Yet he gave his life to put you in this place. Let me see a path diverges from his. Ready to start over. If you can't evade this. It's time to rest your weary self. I won't hold back from now. Let's fight! You've lifted my spirits, monkey. When he was dragged to the execution yard, sword and spear were dulled, cleaver and cudgel were crumbled, and yet he emerged unscathed. Yet he gave his life to put you in this place. Let me see a path diverges from his. Of purity. Unleash the might! Through the air, like a falling star. In my training days, my master told me a gate without hinges can't be forced, and a cord without seams can't be undone. And now I see it clearly. Prison confinement is of our own device. This is nowhere near his powers. Destiny is made, not dictated. From the sky, my sword sweeps the land. Time to rest your weary self. have some of his spark, young king. That's it. I won't hold back from now. Let's fight! You've lifted my spirits, monkey. When he was dragged to the execution yard, sword and spear were dulled, cleaver and cudgel crumbled, and yet he remained unscathed. Yet he gave his life to put you in this place. Let me see a path divergence from his. Falling star! Those in celestial ranks, many of them are below me, and few are like him. Back when he was around, he was the one driving. I relished. From the sky, my sword sweeps the land. It's too late. Today's clash didn't satisfy my spirit. Go back with me to the sky. Let us get drunk before we continue this fight. None has what it takes to push me into this fight. This monkey. I've been thinking of you every day since.
Such power must be new to you. You should first spar with them a while.
-1.
A monkey of worth indeed! As I've helped you, I shall see it through! If you cannot turn, endurance, run! It is. Our battles always wear down my edge. This one should suit you well.
I hear tell this Yaogwai is I rank 1,000-fold above that king. As his sire, he reveres me, and like a deity, he serves me. How dare you think I'm his slave? Kindly chant the loosening spell and release me, Tathagata, so that you can take back my headland and I can be free. The court of the Yaogwai. That Yaogwai said he knew me somewhat. Surely he's the only immortal. He must be somebody from the court. Great. The journey ends here. Keep those eyes wide to bring them down. Watch me rip it off and break free.
The win is his. My brothers tested you at my behest. All for this day. And only now do I understand that fight. No prestige can shackle him. No band can keep him caged. A mortal death for an unbound mind and will. May you not fail him. I'm now at peace. Your journey, though, has just begun.
Say, what's to come of Destiny if he steps out of that mural?
I make a living by reading what was written. The signs alone tell what's to come.
What's to come is what's not yet written. No one can read what's not written.
Destiny is written in what's done. What's done shapes what's to come, not escape. It's all written for me, if only I uncover all that occurred.
So, there really is something even you cannot read. That's good. Very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally done it. But I'm not going to talk about that just yet. We're dying in the background. Azure Dome. Between the boundless dome and mortal planes, this lone monkey stands, unyielding and unstained. Transform into a stone monkey, gaining immunity to shock and poison. Absorb and convert frost and scorch to empower yourself. Retain access to the Destined One spells and convert any pre-transformation focus for use afterward. So we did actually get his weapon. Oh my god. You guys don't fully understand. You might if you've been watching every video that I've uploaded this week. But it is difficult. Hold on. Let's see what we got. What did we... Bishui. When did we get this? It had to have just unlocked from fighting Erlang Shen, but that doesn't really make any sense. All this time I thought that weapons unlocked simply because you got a unique ingredient from an enemy. Though I believe now that I think back, there might have been one other case where I just got stuff unlocked after... But that doesn't make sense. We fought the Bishwi Beast a long, long time ago. Let me take off this hat so I don't die in the background. No, that'll do. So, let me put this into unmistakable terms. Let me actually go look at the previous file. Because I don't remember when it was that I actually... As far as I'm aware, this week has just been a blur of me throwing myself at that fight and feeling like I'm making no headway towards actually beating him. I'll properly get into it once I check what it is I'm looking for. Because it's not like I have what I'm going to say written down or anything. So, according to this, we started recording this episode on the 2nd of December at 12:52, and I don't know if that's when it finished recording or when it started, but it says 12:52:46, so at 12 in the afternoon. It is currently Saturday, December 7th. Now, I haven't been playing the game every single day, all day after I get home from work. It just doesn't work like that. But I have played maybe almost every day about 1 to 2 or 3 hours, whichever I can stand. And I've been throwing myself at ERLANG Shen for 5 days. Well, no, I skipped one day. I did skip one day. So for 4 days, including today, I've been throwing myself at ERLANG Shen trying to beat him. I tried everything. I even tried building a new set, and I just ran out of resources to finish it. So I couldn't even properly put that into use. As you can see here, I had to change pretty much everything. This for when I inevitably ran out of healing to counter to frankly, at first, boost the damage reduction. Then, when we're past half health, it reduces the amount of extra damage that we take. This to help the amount that it does, frankly. The only reason I actually have this is because of the extra defense. That's going to just stack with the damage reduction, help make me a little more survivable for the nightmare that fight was. I used to run this entire set but that's no, that's a little late. That we'll talk about that one later. So I ran basically this entire set before I gave up. No, not gave up. Before I gave in and just went with what is the name of this spell? I can't even freaking remember it. Before I finally gave in and used Spellbinder. And as you can see here, the entire thing is filled. So yes, I did ultimately go back and redistribute some of my sparks. I think I got about 21 back before I was done. And I put them in all sorts of places that I don't actually remember. Because I was not recording at all during the time. After the first day, I don't think I recorded. No. There was another recording, but I deleted it. I don't know if it's part of the same day or not, but there was another recording. It's gone because it was just me getting my head bashed in. It's not worth watching. I made no progress in learning how to beat him, nor did I actually get past, I think, he only has one phase. Well, he only has two phases, technically. The first phase where he'll let you hit him with pretty much everything. And then the second phase is when spells stop working. Spells and heavy attacks for some reason. The only time you'll have seen it during the fight. The only time you can actually hit him with your heavy attacks is when he is locked in for long animations, and it is a risk considering the amount of damage it does. Especially with this set, if I get hit at the wrong time, or if my health drops just below half at the wrong moment, I can be evaporated during that second phase, which is why I always tried to stay above half. So, when I started fighting him, I used all of my regular spells. By the way, not once. Not even once. I can't imagine what he has to counter this. Probably a laugh, because I find this to be that pathetic. Maybe you guys like this spell. I don't know what's wrong with you, but have your fun, I guess. I tried. Immobilize works fine before the second phase. Sometimes. No, probably not even. It's a really rough fight if you can't get through his, I'm just going to call it divinity. If you can't get through his divinity to then deal maximum damage to his health during the window that it's down, you are in for a very, very, very long fight. Which is why I ultimately gave in and went with Spellbinder. Now I don't have the toppest of the top min-max for the maximum amount of mana that you need to get the most damage out of Spellbinder. So, lacking of that, I decided to invest in the spell itself to get the most out of it that I can with everything I have available to me. Even then, ERLANG SHEN is a whole different beast when you don't have spells like Cloud Step or even Rock Solid to help you counter the things that he does. It's like he doesn't actually have a pattern. He has all of these things he can do, And at any point in time, he can whip one of them out and slap you across the mouth with it. Accepting that took a while. It was a while before I finally accepted that ERLANG is the hardest boss I have ever fought in any game. Would he have been that hard, anywhere near as hard without divinity covering his health bar? No, not even in the slightest. I'd have ripped and teared, cleared through that bar at least within a couple of days. I'd have figured it out. Like I do with all of the bosses, I would have gotten there. But that divinity, oh boy, that divinity is something else. Now, when I finally went all in on Spellbinder, I don't use it. I haven't used it regularly. I've been using it for the past 2 days, I want to say. It was hard for me to accept that spells just weren't the answer. I will say, Rock Solid is very good against him, even in his second phase, if you know when to use it. The problem with it is twofold. The first one is manageable. As I said a moment ago, he doesn't follow a consistent pattern for his attacks. I wanted to call them combos or something else because there's more than just a single swing or attack. They're whole long animations that you have to sit and watch and avoid. But that's manageable. If you figure those out, Rock Solid works well. Until his second phase. No, even in the first phase, I remember. Even in the first phase, if you really embarrass him with a good Rock Solid, he will counter it. He will counter your Rock Solid with Axe. Even in the first phase, where he doesn't ever actually use Axe for any other thing. And Axe hurts, no matter which phase it's being used in. Especially if you're running the take more damage to do more damage sets. Well, I say sets. The armor I'm currently wearing is just a single piece. And it's hard. It's hard to adjust to the concept of Rock Solid being countered. Because, one, if you've been using it regularly, I haven't. But if you've been using it regularly, enemies just don't recover like this. So now, you have to break yourself of the muscle memory you have that causes you to immediately follow up on a good Rock Solid. Because he will jam you up nicely with that axe. Interrupt your animations the whole nine. Unless you're wearing the Bull King armor, which grants you tenacity. In which case, you'll take some damage, and then you'll start dodging. I wish I could have gotten the entire set to at least see what that's like, but I couldn't afford it. I ran out of, I think, Celestial Ribbon or something. Also, some other Bull King material. I have no idea how I don't have it all, but that's where we are. I would have liked to have tested it, but I couldn't. So, I went with what I had. as I've said, Rock Solid could work, even in the Titan fight after you beat Erlang Shen, the first time. Rock Solid works as long as you know when to use it. It's not really great, but it can be if you're willing to be patient and pay enough attention. But we are getting far away from the Erlang sacred divinity part of the fight. You have no idea how hard it was for me to let go of spells. Because I could smell it. Without spells, I had to deal with Erlang Shen. And everything he could throw at me. And he gives it to you. He does not hold back, especially in that second phase. And I was on the brink of giving up, just being like, screw it. We don't need this fight. We don't need this content. There's nothing interesting that'll come out of it that'll be worth the trouble. Here I am 4 days later. Am I happy? Am I elated, excited? I don't feel anything. I'm just the weight is off my shoulders. I don't have to come home from work and think to myself, how are we going to deal with Erlang Shen? And I didn't know any of that other stuff. I was tempted, beyond words, I was tempted to look up just the tiniest bit of information, just a smidge of hint at how to beat Erlang Shen. I really, really wanted to. Frankly, I wanted to look past it at what you got out of fighting him to see if it would even be worth it. I didn't, though. Every time I wanted to, I really did. And instead, I would just throw myself into the next fight. By the way, I used Rock Solid against him, but I never actually filled in the skills, the talents for it. Not even once, because frankly, it was the only spell I could actually use against him. So, like, getting mana returns and some of the other stuff it has to offer, none of it's really useful. As you saw, I can get up to about 522 mana just through equipment. So I had plenty with just using the weapons and armor pieces that I wanted. And its cooldown is so short, so I could use it all day long, but ultimately I had to accept that spells just weren't the answer, at least for me. I don't know if he has a counter for everything, but I will tell you, he has a counter for Cloud Step, he has a counter for Rock Solid, he has a counter for Immobilize. There is no counter for Spellbinder because I would always, except for one time, just to see if he would say anything, just to see if he would acknowledge my use of it or, have mercy on me for using Spellbinder. I took it into a fight with him. Geared and everything. Stupid as that was, now that I think about it. With all of the mana equipment I had. And then used Spellbinder, hoping he would have something to say or do something unique, and proceeded to then get bullied across the arena. While this was early on when I still was relearning the fight with him without spells. As I was saying, he has a counter to everything. The other stuff I was saying, and transformations. Just, he's a freaking monster. Like, the only thing I never actually used against him was a pluck of many. Now, I am vaguely aware that there's another strand spell, but I have no idea where it is or who has it, and I'm not going to look for it because I beat ERLANG SHEN. I don't care what happens after this. I have won the game. And no one can tell me differently. I'm also not looking forward to redistributing my sparks, but that's an issue for another version of me. Right now, the fight. Oh, so let's see. Okay. So when I finally accepted that I had to use Spellbinder. When I finally accepted that, I did it. And it went about as well as you would expect the learning of a new boss fight to go, because I've become extremely reliant on Immobilize and Cloud Step. Cloud Step especially for evading things I don't like. And as a result, I had all of the things I would normally skip with Cloud Step in particular. I had to learn how to deal with analog. No tricks, just me and the buttons and the nonsense that ERLANG SHEN has holstered. Oh. It was a rough time. I don't even remember most of it. I feel it. I feel all of the frustration. And it's weird to look back on it now and still think that, yeah, I was right to be frustrated. I still feel the temptation to just call it and move on with the rest of the game and put an end to it so I can focus on Stalker. And yet I'm glad I didn't, because that fight is freaking magical. That fight, the fights after it, the four heavenly kings, ERLANG SHEN in his Titan form, Wukong, or the Destined One in his Titan form. Oh, I'm just upset I couldn't properly enjoy it because I'm so afraid that if I die at any point here, I have to fight him back on the ground from square one. I was terrified. That's why I only ever actually said one thing during those subsequent fights, and then, the laughing in between, because anything to keep from screaming. Also because the fights, the cutscenes in between were just really cool. Like, that is just an incredible fight, and this game will never get the recognition it deserves publicly for just how incredible that fight is. Now, I'm not entirely sure I'm counting the first part of the fight with Sacred Divinity ERLANG, but part of me wants to. because dang it. I have never I have never struggled against a boss that much. But neither have I ever seen a boss with counters to literally everything you could bring to bear against him. Right, so at the very start when I began using Spellbinder, I was using the Dead Sun set. I don't remember what the name of it is, but the one with the scary red mask. So I would use the Dead Sun set, and oh, it was glorious. Chewing through his divinity to rip his health bar apart. I didn't even need to break his divinity. I would get him down to second phase with just light attacks. Of course, that's all I had. Well, light attacks and the occasional heavy. I would prefer to save the heavies for things like attacks I could see coming. For example, when he would grapple you and then push you away. Things like that. Because he would usually follow that up by rushing directly at you. So I would drop a staff on his head and tell him to stop that. I might have done it in I don't know how many of the fights, the attempts I have recorded for this part of the episode. I don't know how many there are. I might not be able to keep them all in because it would just add too much time to the video. And some of them I made no progress, and like one or two of them I just walked in and got bonked. And that's just not interesting, especially for the reasoning, the motivation behind starting to record. I nearly beat him before I started recording. That's why I started recording. I saw the way. I got him down to less than 10% health, probably 5. And I was so tempted to finish him. I wanted it to be done. I was making excuses about how I would handle this with the recording. And I held back. And then he unleashed some silliness and I just couldn't respond. I was low on health and I blew up because I was taking bonus damage. And that's when I started recording, because I knew it could be done. I knew I could do it. I came close, which meant I could do it again. And if I was recording, I wouldn't hold back. Of course, once I started recording, I made mistakes. But to be fair, when I beat him, when I got him low the first time. It's all a blur. I don't remember any of the stuff that happened during that fight. All I know is I looked up at one moment and most of his health was gone and I was about to beat him. You can't imagine how it feels to be elated and then suddenly have to push that down. Because if you let that grow, it will make you go for the kill. And I wanted you guys to see me beat him. I didn't think there would be more after that fight. But it was a welcome surprise, especially because none of it was as difficult as the fight with sacred divinity ERLANG. I have to be honest, after I started recording, I did a lot of stupid stuff that frankly didn't really need to be done. Like taking chances and doing things just to show off what I learned over the course of the 4 days that I've been fighting the guy. I have to be honest, I don't even remember the fight with Sacred Divinity now, the one where I beat him. I don't remember anything that happened. All I know is that I had this YouTube video playing, and, well, I don't know if it had to be this one. Yeah, it had to be this one. All I know is the fight before it, a YouTube video wasn't playing. I got my teeth kicked in. I said, I need video to be playing in the background. So, I played a video. And I beat him. But I don't remember anything about how it looked, how it went. All I know is I got the win. Did I do cool stuff, guys? I hope so. Because I really did want to show off that I learned this guy's, frankly, his entire repertoire, except for what he does when you use Ring of Fire and a Pluck of Many. I don't know what he does for those, but that's because they obviously suck, especially during this fight. All I do know is that the only reason I'm wearing the collection of armor that I am right now, as you can see, not this one in particular, this one. Oh, right. I do have to show you, so, not there. There was another time I came really close to beating him, but nowhere near as close as 5% health. I think I got him down to about 30% health. But even then, I was using this, and I had to use that because I was out of healing, and I used this. Like, I wanted to use this during this video, but there was just no way it would be valuable because I was relying heavily on the damage reduction from my armor to keep me from getting blown the frick up from successive hits in those cases where I might screw up dodging or misposition myself. By the way, do you have any idea the number of times I died as a result of being hit by his dogs and then stabbed in the chest to be hit with a follow-up cutscene attack that would kill me? The answer is very many, too many. I hate it. Mostly because I know every single movement of every single one of his attacks. So I'm always watching the way he moves. And when I know that attack is coming, I'm paying particular attention so I don't get caught and grappled and killed. Then I get hit by the dogs, staggered, hit, grappled, and killed. You have no idea just how upsetting, unless you've actually taken this fight yourself. I could deal with everything else he had, but the dogs just kept getting me. But that was mostly when I was using spells. When I started using Spellbinder, I had to dodge everything, put myself in a position where I could keep attacking. As you might have seen, I don't know what's going to be going into the video, but I was a slippery little bastard. As much as I could be, dodging whatever, wherever. And that would put me out of position for the dogs to hit me, stagger me, and get me caught up by his cutscene attack. Which was particularly bad because I would be running either the Dead Sunset or the Yin Yang armor that I have on now. Because if the dogs hit me close enough to, half health, I was basically guaranteed to die. I don't know. Like I said, I hardly remember the fights up to now, much less the one where I finally beat him. So I can't say for certain how often I got hit by the dogs, much less that cutscene attack. But I will tell you, it was very, very few times. Because I still feel that frustration. I hate it so much. Like, I see everything he's doing, and then all of a sudden, I'm staggered. And then I realize the dog, and then I'm hit, and then I'm comboed, and then I'm dead. And all of my momentum lost. I feel that frustration still. And multiple times over the course of these 4 days, I've thought to myself, that's just cheap, that's unfair, it's like he's cheating. Granted, most of that was before I started using Spellbinder. But I think the sentiment was valid. It's like he's cheating. He is made of pure BS if you're using spells, and at one point I remember I even used this in order to make perfect dodges easier. It was fine, but I didn't have this on when I got him down to like his 5% or whatever it was. So I never put it back on. Also, right, I meant to show you. So, I was also using this back when I was using the Dead Sunset armor set. Basically giving myself so much more attack after he would hit me and I would need to heal because I'm taking so much damage. So, on top of that, I also changed my drink to, I can't actually show you that one without doing this. So, I changed my drink to the Long Balm, which I actually went out of my way to upgrade the coconut wine and then didn't use it. I didn't use it once after I upgraded. I've upgraded it as far as I could. I need one more whatever it is to upgrade it to, I think it's final form? Not entirely sure. I upgraded this as far as I could, prepared to use this, and I didn't. Not even once. Because it occurred to me, if I'm using Spellbinder and the Dead Sunset, which gets me, I think, 25% extra damage, I'll be pumping damage enough to rip through his divinity, which unfortunately doesn't actually work like that. His divinity is so weird. It doesn't take damage normally. It's like it eats some of your damage, and then some of the rest of it that remains goes to his health bar. Which is fine, because at some points, I with what I had equipped, I was hitting him for the occasional 800 crit. So he was in second phase regularly. But then he was also ripping through my health bar. So I figured if Spellbinder is this effective with a set that is getting me killed more easily, why not just go for the Yin Yang armor, survive more damage, more of his attacks. That way I need to heal less, I use less of the drink, and I'm able to still, with a little more time taken, of course, get him down lower, more frequently, more easily than anything before, and I can relax a little and focus more on evading his attacks and not feeling as punished. So I probably should have switched some of my soaks off, particularly the Death Stinger and the double-combed Rooster Blood. Because the double-combed Rooster Blood gives me crit chance, which is completely worthless if I'm in Yin state, or the Yin phase for the armor. But I wasn't thinking about any of this. This stuff was mainly to be useful in the background. The only part that actually matters, the Flower Primes and the Celestial Lotus Seeds. Getting that extra healing over time to counter not only the poison, but the health decay from the hat, which we would be equipping later, after learning that the Dead Sunset was fine, but the Yin Yang armor, that's my home. So this is what I had on my gourd. I did entertain foolishly the idea of using 1,000 days inebriation. I did consider it. From what it looks like, the hat I was wearing either gives you 50% more healing or it doubles it. I can't really say. But I think it's somewhere between 50 and 100% extra healing when you drink. So this would probably be good enough to get you to full health, but you also have to remember he's going to deal pretty good damage to you depending on if you're running the Dead Sunset or the Yin Yang armor. Robe? Yin Yang robe? I guess robe is fine. So I entertained the idea, but the inebriation, it was too big a risk. And I didn't even equip this, much less use it. Which saddens me. But it's not like I had anywhere else to spend the upgrade materials, so I considered this one as well, but then he dealt so much damage that if I was that low, I was probably going to die because of the sheer number of his attacks, the way he attacks, how erratic they can be, spontaneous. If I'm that low, I'm so focused on trying to stay alive that I'm probably just going to get killed. and not be able to get a drink off at all. I did try. Which drink was it? I guess it wasn't this one. This one. I realized, frankly, today, I realized if I'm using Spellbinder, I couldn't remember the name of it. Why do I have this on? It makes no sense if I'm not using mana. And frankly, unable to. Having more mana given back makes no sense. I can't make use of it. But as you can see, I had the Flower Primes and the Iron Pellet equipped as soaks. The Flower Prime is obvious, the Iron Pellet, because I mean, it takes a bit of the stress out for needing to heal in the middle of one of his flurries of attacks. You could, as you may have seen, I don't know how to refer to it. His programming doesn't deal well with you dodging behind him during his attacks. Granted, most of his attacks adjust in a way that allows you to still puts you in danger and straightens him out so that you can't fully break him by jumping behind him with a dodge. But it deals enough damage to him in terms of tracking that you can open a window for yourself to use the drink if you really, really need to. And with the hat that we were using, we could get good value out of the healing and not really have to worry too much about just getting dropped back to the health we just healed from. I also had the what is it? The Flower Primes. I had the Flower Primes equipped because he deals thunder damage enough to inflict you with shock, which then makes you take even more damage. And if I'm running a set that runs the risk of me taking more damage if I'm at low health or reduced to low health, I don't know if there's a gate between being taken to low health and then, or whether or not the damage you take to low health still suddenly then also accounts for the sudden increase the sudden increase in damage taken by you. So let's say I was always worried that if, for example, I take 100 damage from him and then it goes down past half health, I'm suddenly going to take 100. I think the damage reduction, I think it causes you to take 30% more damage, right? So instead of you just taking 100 damage, you instead might take 130. I didn't want to risk that. So I added Flower Prime so I could just drink the damage away as well and remove the shock effect, which it was handy for certain. Wait. No, the double-combed rooster blood was to gain an additional effect in addition to removing the poison state. I wasn't using it to remove the poison state, just to get the movement speed and critical hit chance, which, again, were only actually useful for the Dead Sunset, but well, the crit chance in particular. at some points, I had given up believing that I would ever actually be able to beat him. I really did. I didn't stop fighting him, though. I wanted to cry, I wanted to quit, but I kept fighting him. Of course, that was all before I started using Spellbinder, which made things simpler. There wasn't a whole lot more extra stuff to worry about due to him countering my spells. There was just everything I knew he would do, except for the occasional... What was it he would counter with the axe? There was something. Like I said, the fight's a blur, and all I remember is victory. But for some reason, I remember he would counter with the axe, even while I was just using Spellbinder. He would counter with the axe, and was it the heavy attacks? Yeah, I think it was when there were times when I would use the heavy attack, and of course, he just sidesteps it because of course he does. As a side note, I was trying to use the pillar stance to counter his dodging of the heavy attack. What I was trying to use in particular was this. But no matter I had to hit with it. That's why it wouldn't go off. Because I could use it just fine. But I didn't always hit with it. And following up with Churning Gale requires that you hit with it. So that's why. That's why. Also, I just realized, wait, is Azure... It's Azure something that the spell we just got. Is that a transformation? Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, it doesn't add anything great. Oh, right. Don't I have groceries coming? I don't remember when that's supposed to be. Hold on, let me check. I really didn't think. Yeah, so they... Okay, yeah. I've still got 20 minutes before it gets here. So I started fighting today. This is Saturday for me. I started fighting ERLANG at probably 11:30. It's currently 2:20. Well, not 2:20. It's 2 something, 2:01, I think. It's been a long day already. Isn't this supposed to be Tuesday's video? Okay, so then we have Monday's video and Stalker's covered. Okay. That's good. So I don't have to record after this. I'm just done. And you have no idea how much I've been looking forward to being able to put a cap in this part of the video. Like this, being able to put an end to the fight with ERLANG SHEN. Oh man. I don't get me wrong, I am happy. I said earlier that I didn't really feel anything about having finally finished this. I am happy, but mostly only in the sense that I did it. It's done, and I don't have to deal with it ever again. Even on the off chance that I have a subsequent playthrough on my own, which I just don't see happening, I'm never going to deal with ERLANG SHEN again. I beat him here. I beat him now. At, frankly, the weakest I can ever actually fight him. Anytime after this, I'll be stronger than I am now, if I were to go through the game again anyway. But yeah, the victory itself, I, I I'm glad it's done. I'm glad I was successful, but I'm not really happy about it. Maybe I'm in shock. Maybe I guess that could be it. But I don't really feel that elation you feel when you beat an enemy that is tough. Maybe because it's been such a long road, a long time since I started out on this journey to bring ERLANG SHEN down. Who knows, really? All I do know is that we're done here for today. Wukong will return to its normal schedule. I know Stalker has been enjoying its time slot during the last week it was anyway. But it's awkward speaking in terms of time when I'm recording this at a different time from where you guys are going to be watching it. But anyway, Wukong will return to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays until the game is done. And we're not that far off, according to the information I accidentally happened upon while looking up things in the past. And I hope you guys fully appreciate what it took to get here with ERLANG SHEN. 4 days, a couple hours here and there. Mostly me just turning my brain off and getting beaten while gradually absorbing his patterns. His patterns that weren't patterns, but you know. Again, I hope you guys not only enjoyed, but appreciated this victory. I went through the trouble of explaining my thought patterns and methodology because there may be someone out there who feels like he can't be beaten, that they can't do it, that they need a new game plus to get one over on ERLANG. You don't. You can beat him now if you're willing to put the time in. But you are going to bleed for it. And when it's over, you will not care that you got it done. But you will be able to say it's over. And so, with all that said, we will see you